Hello everybody and welcome to a new series, a reboot of What If Midoriya Had the Omnitrix. This is the reboot for my new expanded universe thingy that I'm working on. Like, I had one before where they all interconnected with Multiversity, but I'm rebooting it because of many reasons. I wasn't happy with many things, especially because someone pointed out the mistakes and a lot of stuff that was in this series, and the Omnideku one was one I thought really needed improving, so I'm going to try mixing in a lot less stuff of the Ben 10 universe, while still mixing in some stuff I find cool, some stuff I think it's needed for the overall narrative. That said, please leave a like, subscribe, check out the Discord in the description below, and enjoy the video, everyone, after that intro. Izuku Midoriya, a boy with an indomitable will, with only one desire, one wish, one dream, to become a great hero. However, his dreams were crushed at a very young age when he was diagnosed as quirkless. By all accounts, he would never become a hero, but destiny had other plans. He grew up being bullied because he didn't have a quirk, but he still admired and studied those more powerful than him. One day, while walking home from school, Midoriya was attacked by a villain. Luckily, his idol, All Might, was there to save him. After being saved, he had a chance to talk to All Might, except he hesitated and All Might left before he could ask his burning question. Life continued like normal for the next few months. On February 1st, while on a school field trip, something incredible happened. Now remember everyone, this is our last field trip as a class before you all go off to high school. So try to enjoy yourselves and don't get into any trouble, says the class teacher before ordering everyone to board the bus. The bus then sets off to a camping spot a couple of kilometers away. A while later they arrive and start setting up the campsite. Okay everyone, let's make this quick so we can start enjoying ourselves. I know you're all eager to get on with it, but there are a couple things we need to do first, the teacher comments before giving everyone their assignments. Midoriya is given the task of collecting firewood, so he heads out into the woods while thinking about a battle he saw on the news during the ride to camp. Seeing this as an opportunity, a group of 3 students follow him into the woods. "Yo, Deku!" shouts Katsuki as he walks towards them. Midoriya gets a bit flustered, dropping the collected firewood back onto the floor. Yes, Kachan? What is it?" he asked, a bit scared. "Heard you're talking to the teachers about going to UA. Turns out you're applying against my suggestion," the bully states while making a small explosion in his hand in order to intimidate the boy. You see, it doesn't hurt anyone if I just apply and try my hardest, right? I could always do well," the boy responds while reaching down to grab the firewood he dropped. Bakugo lets out a small explosion at the wood, forcing the boy back. "You didn't heed my warning," the bully threatens. "I told you what would happen if you applied. You may think I'm doing this to be mean, but I'm just looking out for you. You're going to get yourself hurt, or worse, killed." The bully then turns around to leave, one of his friends kicking some dirt at Midoriya while he does. "Yeah, right. Just thinking about yourself," Midoriya mutters right after they leave. "But you might be right. If I can't stand up to you, what chance do I have of getting into UA? A tear falls down his face as he grabs the wood. He then wipes it and gets back to his task. "Great, he burned most of these with his explosion," the boy comments while grabbing the intact wood. "Have to go deeper into the forest to get some more." While he heads deeper into the forest, unbeknownst to him, a battle rages hundreds of kilometers above him. A battle that will shape his destiny. The battle is between 2 ships, one trying to protect its cargo from its pursuer. On the pursuing ship, an impatient Vilgax sits ordering, "Take that ship down. I want to get it out of this backwater sector as soon as possible. I want the Omnitrix now." His robotic servants heed his command, preparing the ship's cannons. They unleash a devastating blow to the other ship. "A direct hit, sir. We've managed to take down the ship's main propulsion without damaging the cockpit," reports one of the drones. "Excellent," comments the alien. "Prepare to board. I want my prize." Some screens start beeping and buzzing, and so the Tyrant asks, "What's the matter?" "We've also encountered a problem, sir. Our shield seems to be down," reports the drone. "What? Impossible," states the captain. The pursued ship, in a last-ditch effort attempt to protect its crew and its cargo, shoots a blast at its pursuer. Luckily, the shields are down, so the blast hits the main bridge, creating a huge explosion. The drones managed to seal off the area, but the ship's controls got damaged, not to mention the captain, Belgax, was injured as well. Xylene, the pilot of the fleeting ship, wanting to safeguard her cargo, decides to send it to the planet below to find its intended host, Izuku Midoriya, one of the greatest plumbers of the generation. She uses her last escape pod to send the cargo down to the planet, not seeing many alternatives, and since her ship is starting to fall down to the planet, she jumps into a hibernation pod to safeguard herself. Back on the planet below, Izuku Midoriya walks deeper into the woods, collecting more firewood. As he does, he looks at the sky, contemplating its beauty. "The skies never looked so clear in the city," the boy mutters. "It's beautiful." Looking at the sky, he spots a shooting star. He closes his eyes and whispers, I wish I could become a hero." He opens them again. For a moment, he's stunned, seeing the shooting star change its course and head towards him. Reacting, he drops his firewood and starts running. He runs as fast as he can, shouting, "Holy crap, shit, I'm gonna die!" Before the shooting star hits him, he jumps out of the way, landing on some bushes, hitting his head against a tree and losing consciousness for a moment. A minute later, he wakes up. He looks at his arms and the rest of his body to see he is okay, shouting, I'm alive! But what was that crazy thing that almost crushed me? He thinks to himself. There might be a cool meteorite. His curiosity gets the better of him and he walks closer to check the wreckage. Once he gets a better look, he recognizes some sort of machinery and starts theorizing that it could be a satellite. He walks towards it, wanting to inspect it. He reaches the main hull. When he does, a hatch opens. He touches the metal. "It should be hot," Midoriya comments, "but it seems to have cooled down somehow." The hatch finishes opening and a green light shines out. "What's that?" Midoriya comments. Enthralled by the light, he reaches out to it. Recognizing his DNA signature, an unknown object jumps from the hull, latching itself onto Midoriya's wrist. "What the?" he exclaims while trying to get off. He struggles for a bit, but eventually he realizes he can't get rid of it. After calming down a bit, he decides to inspect the device that is now on his wrist. He hits a button which activates the dial. Thinking he broke it, Midoriya pushes it back to its original position, activating the device. He's enveloped by a flash of light and emerges from it as accelerates. What's going on?" Midoriya asks, looking at his hands. "This is so weird." He then starts walking. He takes 3 steps and gets pretty far. Is this my quirk? Do I have super speed? Did it finally manifest? No, that doesn't make sense. If I had a dormant quirk, the doctors would have said so. This has something to do with the device, with that watch, he thinks out loud. He runs around for a while, collecting a bunch of firewood in the process. After 10 minutes go by, the device times out and he thus turned back into his regular self. This is incredible! I wonder what else... The boy starts thinking. Hey Midoriya, where are you? Sensei's starting to get worried, a class member shouts, looking for the boy. You've been gone for half an hour. Right, I can test this out later, Midoriya says while looking at his wrist. He grabs his firewood and runs back to the camp. In space, Vilgax is placed in a healing capsule to heal him from his injuries. What should we do now, Master? asked one of the drones. I want my prize. Retrieve it. By all means necessary, the alien orders. So the ship shoots down one of its fighter bots down to the planet below. The bot lands, deploying 2 search drones to start inspecting the crash site. They don't find the Omnitrix, so they extend their search area. Izuku arrives back at camp, and for the next 23 minutes, things go rather normally. They start a fire and start grilling some sausages and marshmallows. However, after a while, 2 flying drones fly into camp, scanning the area. They locate the Omnitrix rather quickly and march towards Midoriya. As they get close, Bakugo jumps at them, backed by an explosion. He lands on one, blowing it up. Midoriya starts running while the other drone follows him. He runs and hides while his teacher calls the pro heroes and Bakugo takes care of the situation. A while later, the main drone comes, having received intel from the scouts. However, by this point, the pros have arrived and quickly dispose of it. The field trip is thus cancelled because of the attack, and the students are sent home. On the ship, one of the drones walks towards the healing Velgax. "What is it?" asks the captain impatiently. "We got a report from the retrieval team, sir," answers the drone. "What happened?" he asks, a bit of anger noticeable in his voice. "The drone located the Omnitrix. It seems to have bounded to a human life form," the drone says. "Did he destroy our scouts?" asks the alien. "No, sir, he did not engage. This planet seems to have advanced more than we thought since we were last in this sector. They have protectors with strong abilities. It seems unlikely that our forces will be able to retrieve the device on their own," reports the drone. "Fine. We'll just have to use the help of our friend, then," the alien says. "I'm sure he'd be happy to make some sort of deal." When the weekend arrives, Midoriya uses the chance to study the watch, opening a new notebook. He goes out to a secluded area, a beach, to practice and learn what the device can do. He spends the next 3 weeks practicing and learning what he can. He takes notes on all 10 of the new forms that he has, plus some extra on the device itself. On February 24th, Midoriya walks onto the UA campus. "What am I doing here?" he thinks to himself. "I'm not prepared for this at all. There's no way I can pass the exam. But that doesn't mean I shouldn't try, right? I know what I can do at least. Using the watch, I might be able to pass." As he walks, thinking and mumbling, he bumps into Bakugo. He turns to see Midoriya. "What are you doing here, you damn nerd? I thought I told you not to come," he scolds the boy. At first, Midoriya cowers in fear of the bully, but he manages to muster his resolve. He stares Bakugo down with a look of determination on his face. He puts his arm behind his back and says, "If you want to stop me, go ahead and try." Hearing that statement, Bakugo backs off and says, "Whatever. Good luck. You're going to need it. Just try not to die, you damn nerd." Bakugo walks away, leaving Midoriya there. He takes a deep breath to calm his nerves, thinking, "I did it. I actually stood up to him." He takes a step forward, but he trips over himself, falling over. He closes his eyes as he falls, thinking, "I'm gonna die before the exam even starts." Before he hits the ground, he feels a slight touch on his shoulder. After a moment of hesitation, he thinks, "I should have hit the ground by now." He opens his eyes to see that he's floating. A girl then sets him straight, preventing him from falling. "Thanks," Midoriya mutters, blushing a bit. "No problem. Sorry for using my quirk without permission. You know it's bad luck to fall down on such an important day." "Good luck," the girl says before leaving. Midoriya then heads to the lecture hall, where President Mike explains the rules of the practical exam. After that is over, they head to their respective battlegrounds. Midoriya takes a deep breath while trying to pump himself up and get ready. Suddenly, "Go, go, go! There are no countdowns in real battle!" shouts President Mike. Everyone then rushes into the battlefield, leaving the timid boy behind. When he manages to steel himself, he runs into the battlefield while tinkering with the device on his wrist. Should I go for speed or strength? Maybe projectiles? the boy thinks, trying to decide which form to take. He spends about 3 minutes going through the 10 transformations he has, paralyzed by indecision. Suddenly, a robot changes focus and rushes at him. "This one!" Midoriya shouts, seeing the robot charging at him. Midoriya just hits the dial, turning into a Cheetah-Man, aka Forearms. He grabs the rushing one pointed by the head, stopping its charge, and bashes him into the ground, breaking it apart. Midoriya then jumps into action to destroy a couple more. He smashes one, then another, helping some other students along the way. After a while of destroying robots, he's accumulated 23 points. It is at this point that the 0-pointer is released into the battlefield. Everyone starts running away from it, and Midoriya is about to do the same, wanting to focus his attention on earning some more points. But before he can leave, he hears a scream. He looks to see where the scream came from, only to see a girl trapped under some rubble. The robot is going towards her. "It's going to kill her!" Midoriya exclaims before running towards the robot. He arrives just as it's about to step on the girl. He jumps up into the air, hitting the robot over and over and over in the face. He manages to hit him 8 times before gravity takes hold, pushing the robot back a bit. He lands on the ground. He then goes to the girl, pulling all the rubble off her. "What are you doing?" asks the girl, not wanting him to risk his life or waste time. "You know it's bad luck to get crushed by a robot on such an important day," says Midoriya, as he grabs the girl. "It's you," the girl says. "Leave me be. Don't risk your results to save me." "Don't worry about it," Midoriya comments, jumping away. "I got this. Or at least I hope I do," he thinks to himself. While in midair, a ringing is heard, followed by a red flash that envelops Midoriya. Once the flash passes, Midoriya is back in his human form, and both the two contestants start falling from high above, uncontrollably. "What just happened?" asks the girl, confused as to why Midoriya would change back now. Midoriya hits the watch, trying to get it back on, shouting, "Why'd you have to time out now?" Before they hit the ground, the girl gains her composure, touching herself with one hand and while slapping Midoriya with the other. 30 centimeters above the ground, they start floating. She then struggles to put her hands together and says, "Release." "Thanks," Midoriya says. "You saved my life." "You know, falling on such an important day is bad luck, right?" she says, chuckling. "Yeah," says Midoriya, laughing himself. The robot takes another step, approaching the two. Midoriya panics for a moment, grabbing the girl and trying to escape. But before they can get far, the giant robot just shuts down. The exam has ended. Uraka is taken to the school nurse, and everyone goes their separate ways, hoping to have gotten into the school. After the events of the day, Midoriya returns home exhausted, wanting to rest. He doubts himself, thinking he didn't get enough points. Nonetheless, a week later he receives the results. His mother bursts into his room shouting, "Izuku! A letter! A letter from UA! It's here!" Izuku grabs the letter, with his mom leaving the room. He opens the letter, finding a holodisc inside. He places it on the desk and a hologram pops up. One of his favorite heroes appears before him saying, "Congratulations, Izuku Midoriya! Sorry that I have to make this quick. I have a lot of these to get through. I have to say congratulations are in order. You have passed the entrance exam with flying colors. You may have only gotten 23 battle points, which under normal circumstances wouldn't allow you to get in. But in a hero school such as this, there are bound to be hidden parameters, such as rescue points, which you managed to get 46 of. They were mainly for your heroic behavior when that girl was in danger, but also for helping out other contestants when they were struggling. You jumped into danger without thinking in order to save someone. That is the sign of a true blue hero. You deserve to be admitted to the school. After all, how could a school for heroes not accept someone so willing to sacrifice himself for others?" Overjoyed that he got in, Midoriya rushes into the living room to tell his mother the good news. And And that's the end of that video. I do hope you all did enjoy. I am rebooting this series. I still don't know the direction I'm going to go with it totally. I know more or less what I'm going to do, but there have been requests for me to add less of the Ben 10 universe, so I am now considering exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it. I do know I don't want to fill it too much with stuff like I did with the last one, which one event after the other, which was pointed out by Amit Barabi, a guy who I really value the opinion of, that it was overcrowded with all of this stuff, and all the stuff that Izuku went through was way too much for a normal person. And he was right. So I'm trying to rectify that while setting up my new continuity here. Regardless, I do hope you all enjoyed. Please check out my Discord, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And until next time, everyone, have a fantastic day. Bye!